Hello, welcome back to the show. Joe Concha here, filling in for Steve Malzberg. Joining me now for another Malzberg panel. I think he's been here for like 3 hours or something. He has a cot in the back. He's like Norm from Cheers, and he walks in. Rick, how you doing? Rick Ungar. He's a political contributor to Forbes.com, and he may be a senior one. We're still checking on that. And joining us also, retired Major General in the U.S. Army and founder of Stand Up America, Paul E. Vallely. General, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
Yes. We wanted to continue, General, a quick thought on the latte salute heard around the world when the president was leaving Marine One yesterday. Was this a big deal or much ado about nothing, in your opinion?
Well, it's always a reflection of the commander-in-chief and how he acts when he's going aboard or coming off the aircraft, and that depicts a lot, you know. And as I think Rick said earlier, Bush held the dog when he saluted, but at least he held the dog in his left arm and saluted with his right hand, which you're supposed to do. You never try a salute with your right hand with a latte cup in it, so it was very disrespectful and just bad taste.
Okay, well, we appreciate your comments on that. And by the way, if you have to get that phone, that was Rick calling, so just ignore.
I
was trying to throw you off your game.
I was able to get your.
Quite get it. Sorry about that. It was a reaction.
Yeah, no, I saw you leaning forward. That was you made a good effort. On a more serious note, obviously, the bombing commenced in Syria just now, 36 hours ago. We saw the video as far as targets leveled to the ground, destroyed. I brought this up in an earlier segment. What bothers me about the whole approach is that we telegraph what we're going to do a week in advance. The president addresses the American people, says that we're going to start bombing in Syria, says that we've selected targets. And I got to think the enemy is saying, where are we now located? And maybe we should go somewhere else. Shouldn't we be, and I hate to bring up Pearl Harbor because it's an anti-American example, but the element of surprise, it seems that we escape that for political reasons. Am I wrong on this? Is my radar off?
No, you're right. You don't telegraph any operational plans at all, especially if they're going to be surprise attacks from the air or from the ground. And you want to keep that basically intact and not alert the enemy, because if they know there's pending strikes coming up, they're going to move from position A to position B. So if they're in Syria, they're going to move from one village to the other, and they're going to relocate, and mostly relocate at night now, because they know our overhead surveillance, what we call ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, are going to pick up their movement. So never a good idea to reveal any operational plans.
You know what, I actually agree with the general on this, and with you, Joe. The problem is we are so politicizing everything that we're doing now, and everything that this president does is that he gets put into a position of being defeated before he even starts, and the only chance that he has is to come out and explain to the country what he's going to do. Look, as long as you have people like McCain and Graham, or as I like to call them, the Boobsy twins, going on television endlessly to tell us what the president is doing wrong, what other choice does he have? I think the general is absolutely right. I don't have the military acumen that he does, but it does make sense to me, and I think it makes sense to most Americans, that you don't want to telegraph what you're going to be doing. But then why not wait and see what the president does before embarking on this full-scale attack on what decisions he's making? We all forget now that the bombs are dropping, that it was just a couple of weeks ago that he was being lambasted for not having a strategy. So you know what? If both sides will get together on this and say, hey, this goes beyond politics, this, you know, leaving the water's edge, all that stuff, and act like one nation, then we can avoid that kind of a problem.
General, we're running up against the clock, so a 30-second answer if you could. Boots in the ground needed here to ultimately win this fight, or can this be won through the air, through the airstrikes that we've been seeing over the last 36 hours?
Well, this boots on the ground phrase is being overused, and in a way it doesn't actually portray what happens in military operations. We've had people over there, of course, in the embassy. We've had trainers over there. We've added that now by multiplying up the number of special forces so we can control what we call air-ground operations over there, as well as more intelligence. So the troops that we have on the ground and have had on the ground have been there, and of course have been added primarily in the north to help the Peshmerga up there. So
General,
from
General,
my
I'm just going
standpoint,
to interrupt with a quick question. Do
Sure.
when you describe the people that we have there, would those people be the spotters we'd want to have to give us the intelligence on where to bomb, or would that not include them?
15 seconds, General. Sorry.
well,
to give you a time
there's
limit,
two
but we're
groups,
back
Rick.
against
Number one, you have the intelligence people. They do the targeting. They get the feeds from the satellites and the drones and the F-15s and 16s on recon flights. Now they take that and then they pass it to the operators. The operators then determine what targets are going to be used.
Gentlemen, I got to wrap it up here. So sorry about that. Thank you for joining us, General Rick Ungar. Up next, research fellow at the Independent Institute, William Watkins joins us. Joe Concha, the Steve Malzberg Show. Right back in a moment.